So can we still see more selling pressure in this company called Genting Singapore? Can there still be more downside? Hey guys, Joey here, top tier advisor in Phillip Securities and chief trader at Trading Impossible. So this is one of the companies that's badly hit due to it being in the tourism sector. I talked about SIA and SATS before in the aviation sector, and Genting is in the tourism sector, also badly hit. So in today's video, we're going to talk about Genting Singapore because on Friday, we kind of closed down by about 5% in just one day. And we're going to talk about the reason why, and we're going to look at where we are for Genting Sing. There were some downside targets that were drawn just a few weeks back, but right now, it seems like we've gone down a bit lower. So we're going to look at why we've gone down, and more importantly, where can Genting Singapore go from here, or as of the 9th of August 2020. Okay, so let me just dive into this article. Just about 2 to 3 days back, they kind of reported their results, and look at this right away. This is a Straits Times article. Genting Singapore reports its worst quarterly performance since 2010 amidst the coronavirus disruption. So we kind of reported their earnings, it really don't look that good. Let me just show you what I mean. So you can't see right over here, it suffered its worst ever quarter, right, since its opening in 2010 due to a disruptions to global travel due to the current COVID-19 pandemic, and they kind of closed with a net loss of $163.3 million, alright, the worst quarterly performance since it's opened in 2010, and compared to a net profit of $168.4 million just a year ago. So I would say that for Genting Singapore, it's pretty much in a bad sector to be in, because right now in terms of tourism, most of the customers are coming from like China, Indonesia and Malaysia. Right away here you can see that China, Indonesia and Malaysia account for a big majority of Resort World Sentosa international gamblers, and it seems like it will take time to recover. As I say, it wouldn't be so soon over the next few weeks or maybe months. It might even go to next year or the year after. Alright, so this is how Genting Singapore might be heavily impacted in terms of their revenue, as long as tourism is hit, as long as travelers, tourists from all around the world cannot come to Singapore. That's why we are still hit for this. Okay, so this is a Straits Times article, and this is the reason why Genting tanked down by about 5% on Friday. But let's take a look at where we were just a few weeks back, where there were some downside targets that were drawn. So this is Genting Singapore in early June, alright, where we started to see a bit of strength coming back, and it started to push up in April, May, and it started to head towards this very key resistance level at about 85 cents right over here. This 85 cents level is key because it was originally the support that has been holding above for about 1 year, 2 years, since like 2018. But kind of broke that 85 cents level, went all the way down, and we're pretty much heading back to it. And there were some downside targets that were drawn right over here from the 85 cents down, because we are expecting some sellers to come back, and that's where that 200 days, the blue line, the 200 days moving average is as well. So there were some downside targets that were drawn to about 78 cents, right? So a few weeks later, in about July, we kind of pushed lower as well, and we're then trading about 75 cents right around here. And again, there were some downside targets that were reiterated to about 70 cents, because in terms of the trend, there was still some signs of this downtrend continuing, right? So that was just a few weeks back. So today is the 9th of August, right? National Day, 9th of August 2020, and you want to look at Genting Singapore again, where we are right now, and can there still be more weakness going forward as we push on in the next few months? Let's take a look. So if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, give me a thumbs up, so it will help YouTube algorithm reach out to more people. And thank you so much for doing this. Okay, so let's get on to Genting Singapore right now as of the 9th of August 2020, right over here. So kind of close on Friday. I mentioned that it kind of tanked down by about 5% on Friday due to its earnings results being out, and it didn't really meet expectations. In fact, the losses were quite huge. Okay, and it kind of closed at about 68 cents on Friday. Okay, so this is where there were some downside targets that were drawn in June, in July, right over here, because it kind of hit that 85 cents level, and that was where we started to see a bit of selling coming back again. So let's talk about the trend first. Look at the trend, right? So you can see that in terms of the trend, there were already some signs of downtrend forming, all right, since about last year in 2019, all right, because you can see that this blue line, the 200 days of moving average, like sloping down, and this red line, the 100 days moving average, is still like below the blue line, and they're both pointing down. Okay, and what happens is we kind of broke that 85 cents key support level in February. That was when the entire COVID-19 situation really escalated. It kind of sold off all the way to about 50 cents and rebounded back up. Alright, and here we are right now. We kind of rebounded all the way to about 85 cents, and that's where sellers came back again, and there were some downside targets that were drawn. Right, so you can see right over here that yeah, the trend still looks down for now. I would say in the mid to long term, and in terms of the short term, we kind of broke back down below the immediate support at about 70 cents. Right, so our first downside target was about 70 cents. We kind of breached that target, and we kind of closed at about 68 cents, which is below 70 cents. Right, so it kind of seems like this 70 cents support has broken. All right, and we might start to see a bit more weakness, I would say, as long as we stay below this 70 cents mark. Of course, if we can go back above 70 cents, that would be a good thing. Hopefully it will be a reversal, but right now we are like below 70 cents, so we might start to see a bit more short-term weakness too. Let me just draw some downside targets. We might potentially see a trade back down to like 60 cents, and if that 60 cents level were to break down as well, yeah, we might potentially hit back to that 50 cents, which was the recent low we've seen in March, just after the heavy sell down in February all the way. We might start to potentially hit back towards that recent low, all right, if that 60 cents level to break down as well. Right, so there's some chart pattern right over here as well, what we call a head and shoulder, a little mini head and shoulder patterns, a bearish pattern, I would say. A shoulder, left shoulder, a right shoulder over here, and a head right over here, whereby the support is about 70 cents, and that has kind of broken down as well in terms of the 70 cents support level broken down for this bearish head and shoulder pattern. So it doesn't look that good, I would say, below this 70 cents level. So if you're holding on to long positions, right, you might want to think about, potentially reducing some positions. You don't want to just be holding on to it and then pushing lower and lower. You want to probably reduce some exposure, especially if you're to stay below 70 cents. All right, so for those of you who want to take some short positions, you can do it with CFD to kind of ride the downside. All right, so this is Genting Singapore right over here as of the 9th of August 2020. You want put this stock in your watch list, whereby there could potentially still be more weakness as long as we stay below that 70 cents level. So if you like this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button below, and of course give me a thumbs up as well. Subscribe, make sure you hit the bell as well, so that you will be alerted and you receive a notification whenever we post such videos on YouTube, right? So go ahead to do that, click the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video.